Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service by Lord Kapila, text number 28 onwards. So in previous many verses, Lord Kapila has stressed upon worship of the deity is good, but a person who is worshipping the deity should know how to behave with the people in general and the devotees. So that is more important. He stressed so much on this for so many verses, 5 or 6 verses he spoke on this. Jiva Shrestha hi ajivanam tata pranamrita shubhi tata sachitta pravras tataschendriya vrittaya. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects, O Blessed Mother, and among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animals with developed consciousness are better than them, and better still are those who have developed sense perception. In the previous verse, it was explained that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse, and in the following verses, the description of different grades of living entities is given, so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity. For example, a tiger is a living entity, part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Lord is living in the heart of the tiger as super soul. But does this mean that we have to treat the tiger in a friendly manner? Certainly not. We have to treat him differently, giving him charity in the form of prasad. The many saintly paid persons in the jungles do not treat the tigers in a friendly way, but they supply prasad, the foodstuffs, to them. The tigers come, take the food and go away, just as a dog does. According to the Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house. For those who want to keep pets as dogs and cats, it's not recommended. Because of their uncleanliness, cats and dogs are not allowed within the apartment of a gentleman, but are so trained that they stand outside. The compassionate householder will supply prasad to the dogs and cats, who eat outside and then go away. We must treat the lower living entities compassionately, but this does not mean that we have to treat them in the same way we treat other human beings. The feeling of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. Just how discrimination should be maintained is given in the following 6 verses concerning the different grades of living conditions. So every living entity has a spirit soul and super soul in the heart, but still based on their consciousness or their species, one has to treat them differently. Now, in the animal species, it doesn't mean all the animals, we treat them like that, like cow. Of course, we can say cow is not an animal, cow is like our mother, but she comes in animal species of life. So with cows, it's a different treatment than with the dogs or cats, and then altogether different treatment with the tiger. But Prabhupada clearly says dogs and cats should not be kept inside the house. And it has become a very big fashion, even among the devotees who are trying to follow the rules and regulations. They're keeping cats and dogs inside the house as pets. I mean, from psychological point of view, yes, everybody needs somebody to cuddle or somebody who can give them love and somebody who can listen to their problems without reacting, and cats and dogs are good for that, but still, that's not how it's supposed to be. In fact, it is so much so said in the deity worship manual, and Prabhupada has mentioned it some places in Bhagavatam, that when we are making a bhoga offering for the Lord, we are making the plate with different katoris and cups and filling it up with different items. And we are taking that plate to the temple, to the altar for offering. And if a dog sees that, it specifically talks about dogs. If a dog sees that, then that offering has to be thrown away because it's not fit for offering anymore. That is why we are supposed to cover it with the cloth when you're taking to the altar. So nobody sees it. In fact, even like the person who has prepared it also, he should not see it because he'll develop this lusty desire to enjoy the prasad before the Lord does. But the idea is I mean, they are good animals. Yes, dog is considered a man's best friend and this and that, but still there has to be some limitation. There has to be. So we have to understand, we have to know how to treat different species differently. The first division is made between dead, stone-like matter and the living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of the soul within that stone. Above that, the next manifestation of the living condition is development of consciousness. And the next manifestation is the development of sense perception. In the Moksha Dharma section of Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perception. They can see and smell. We know by experience that trees can see, sometimes in its growth. A large tree changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. This means that a tree can see, and according to Mahabharata, the tree can also smell. This indicates the development of sense perception. So the plants have the sense perception. And also, from the seeing point, if you keep a pot of plant in a room, in a dark room, and if we have a window, the plant will grow towards the window. Some people will say, oh, that's where the sunlight is coming from, so it's going towards that. But it cannot be inanimate object growing like that. It has to be animate. So it has some sense perception, so where to grow, which direction. And here Mahabharata says they can smell also, so it must be true. Scriptures don't lie. Tatrapi sparsha vedibhya pravara svedina tebhyo gandhavidah shreshthas tata shabdavido patvaraha. Among the living entities who have developed sense perception, those who have developed the sense of taste are better than those who have developed only the sense of touch. Better than them are those who have developed the sense of smell, and better still are those who have developed the sense of hearing. Although Westerners accept that Darwin first expounded the doctrine of evolution, the science of anthropology is not new. The development of the evolutionary process was known long before the Bhagavatam, which was written 5,000 years ago. There are records of the statements of Kapil Muni, who was present almost in the beginning of the creation. This knowledge has existed since the Vedic time, and all these sequences are disclosed in the Vedic literature. The theory of gradual evolution or anthropology is not new to the Vedas. But here, the theory of evolution is based on the body only, is based on the soul going through different species. Not just one, like Darwin said, from single cell organism to double cell organisms, and then from double to multiple cell organisms. This is how they evolved. But he could not explain then how come the single cell organisms are still formed? How come not everybody evolved? So, but according to Vedic evolution, the soul goes from single cell organism next life to multiple or double cell organism into multiple cell, and then goes on and on and on and on. So the bodies are still found of all different types of organisms. Similarly, he said from monkey to man, and it just grew, evolved. But how come monkeys are still found? And how come they're not evolved into anything else? And how come men that we see are like this for so many years? How come men are not evolving further? So that he cannot answer. It is said here that amongst the trees, there are also evolutionary processes. The different kinds of trees have touch perception. It is said that better than the trees are the fish, because fish have developed the sense of taste. Better than the fish are the bees, who have developed the sense of smell. And better than them are the serpents, because serpents have developed the sense of hearing. In the darkness of night, a snake can find its eatable simply by hearing the frog's very pleasant cry. The snake can understand there is a frog, and he captures the frog simply because of its sound vibration. Prabhupada says, snake finds its eatables like a frog simply by its very pleasant cry. The frog is croaking in his own voice in the middle of the night, and the snake finds it, and the snake crawls and just eats of the frog. And this example is also given in the first canto of Bhagavatam. It's repeated here, Prabhupada saying, and he captures the frog simply because of its sound vibration. This example is sometimes given for persons who vibrate sounds simply for death. One may have a very nice tongue that can vibrate sound like the frogs, but that kind of vibration is simply calling death. So the sense, the sound, the organ that has been given to us, the tongue, and then we can create sound from that organ. So idea is to chant the holy name or glorify the Lord with that sound propensity. Instead, if we just talk about mundane matters, and this is the example given, that we are simply calling death, just like frog when he croaks, he just simply invites snake to come and eat. But somebody might say that if you are chanting with that tongue, you will die. It's not that you will live forever. But that death is different, because in that case, a person simply changes body but continues with his devotion service. The best use of the tongue and of sound vibration is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That will protect one from the hands of cruel death. It's not that the devotees are not going to die. They are going to leave the body. But when they leave the body, they're going to just carry on with their services in different bodies. That's all. Rupa bheda vidastatra tataschobhyodat abhyatodataha desham bahupadaha shreshthah chatush padastato dvipat. Better than those living entities who can perceive sound are those who can distinguish between one form and another. Better than them are those who have developed upper and lower sets of teeth. And better still are those who have many legs. Better than them are the quadrupeds. And better still are the human beings with 2 legs. It is said that certain birds, such as crows, can distinguish one form from another. Living entities that have many legs, like the wasp, are better than the plants and grasses, which have no legs. Four-legged animals are better than many-legged living entities, and better than animals is a human being who has only two legs. So different kind of gradations are given. Tato varnascha chatvarastesham brahman uttam brahmaneshvapi vedagyo yarthagyo abhyadikastataha. Among human beings, a society which is divided according to the quality and work is best. And in that society, the intelligent men who are designated as Brahmins are best. Among the Brahmins, one who has studied the Vedas is the best. And among the Brahmins who have studied the Vedas, one who knows the actual purport of Veda is the best. The system of four classification in human society according to quality and work is very scientific. This system of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras has now become vitiated as a present caste system in India. But it appears that this system has been current a very long time, since it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So this system of division of the society, it's there. If you just remove the caste system, don't even think about caste system. So these four classes are there in every society. Brahman doesn't mean by birth. Brahman mean by quality and work. They do. So Brahman means the intelligent class. And then there comes a Kshatriya, the administrative class. And then the Vaishyas, the business class, or the farmers, or the cow protectors. And then the Shudra class, who serve, servant class, who serve everybody else. So this gradation or this classification is always there, whether we believe it or not. But because it has been presented differently based on the current caste system in India, which is completely wrong to begin with. So people, they just don't want to even hear about this Varnashram system of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. They say we all are one. We all are one. Obviously we all are one, in the sense that we all are spirit souls. We all are part and parcel of God. But how come then how can we explain in the society that somebody is intelligent and somebody is a servant? It's there in the society, even without anybody creating it. Even the communists who say everybody is equal, of course, they don't believe in it, but they say it just to remain in power. But even in that country or in that system, there is an administrative class of people. There are business class of people. There are intelligent class of people who are teachers or who are who could be philosophers. And there are service class of people. Communist countries can, or they wrongly do this. They can say everybody will be remunerated or given money equally. Doesn't matter what kind of service you do. So, but everybody's service is different, and everybody's inclination is also different. They all cannot be put in one part at same person. They are not. But on the other hand, capitalist country, even that is, to a certain extent, they are also wrong, because here, whoever has money, he has the power, and that's it. It's not that the Kshatriyas have the power, the Vaishyas have the power. Whoever has money, it's generally the Vaishyas, the business class, they have the power. And they can make the government and the society run the way they want. But regardless, this is a symptom of Kali Yuga. This is bound to happen. So But there is a division. Unless there is such a division of the social orders in human society, including the intelligent class, the martial class, the mercantile class, and the laborer class, there is always confusion as to who is to work for what purpose. A person trained to the stage of understanding the absolute truth is a Brahman. And when such a Brahman is Vedagya, he understands the purpose of Veda. The purpose of Veda is to understand the absolute. One who understands the absolute in three phases, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, and who understands the term Bhagwan to mean the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is considered to be the best of the Brahmins or a Vaishnava. So see the gradation and how a Vaishnava fits into the society. We can say, oh, this is what Prabhupada is writing, and this is, and he's a Vaishnava, he's promoting Vaishnava. But no, this is how Bhagavatam is speaking. And to be a Vaishnava is a very big deal. Maybe the society won't understand, that's a different story. But as devotees, one should understand, or as future devotees or trying to be devotees, we should understand what's the position of a Vaishnava. Because a Brahman is one who knows the Vedas, but then beyond that is one who knows the Absolute and one who serves the Absolute with love and devotion. He is the best Vaishnava. One who serves with full love and devotion, knowing even in Vaishnava, the categories, right? Lowest class, middle class, and high class Vaishnava. So many gradations, and it's all based on the consciousness, not based on the body, not based on where one is born, not based on how much money one has. It's all based on the consciousness. Arthagyat sanchayat cheta tata shreyan swakarmakrit mukta sangastato bhuyam dogda dharma matmanah. Better than the Brahman who knows the purpose of the Vedas is he who can dissipate all doubts. And better than him is one who strictly follows the Brahmanical principles. Better than him is one who is liberated from all material contamination. And better than him is a pure devotee who executes devotional service without expectation of reward. Arthagya Brahman refers to one who has made a thorough analytical study of the Absolute Truth and who knows that the Absolute Truth is realized in three different phases, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. If someone not only has this knowledge but is able to clear all doubts or question about the Absolute Truth, he is considered better. So not just having the knowledge, but who can explain it. Means he has realized that knowledge, then he can explain. Further, there may be a learned Brahman Vaishnava who can explain clearly and eradicate all doubts. But if he does not follow the Vaishnava principles, then he is not situated on a higher level. One must be able to clear all doubts and simultaneously be situated in the Brahmanical characteristics. Such a person who knows the purpose of the Vedic injunctions, who can employ the principles laid down in the Vedic literatures, and who teaches his disciples in that way, is called an Acharya. So someone who knows the purpose, who can employ the principles laid down, and who teaches is an Acharya. Position of an Acharya is that he executes devotion service with no desire for elevation to a higher position of life. The highest perfectional Brahman is a Vaishnava who knows the science of the Absolute Truth, but is not able to preach that knowledge to others is described as being in the lower stage. One who not only understands the principles of the science of God, but can also preach is in the second stage. And one who not only can preach, but who also sees everything in the Absolute Truth, and the Absolute Truth in everything is in the highest class of Vaishnavas. It is mentioned here that a Vaishnava is already a Brahman. In fact, the highest stage of Brahmanical perfection is reached when one becomes a Vaishnava. So this is the position of a Vaishnava. And this is what Kapil Dev himself is speaking, who gave the whole knowledge of Sankhya Yoga. And like how Prabhupada explained, the position of an acharya. So this was taught in the Gurukul system, previous ages. Even even in before British came, this system was prevalent in India, the Gurukul system. And Gurukul was run by an acharya, a Brahmin teacher, who would accept students from everywhere. And then when the students grow, all the brahmacharis, when they grow in age and their competencies, then the Brahmin would decide if somebody is going to be a Brahman or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra. Until then, all the kids were same. Of course, we can get into why Dronacharya didn't accept and Eklavya and this and that. There's different issues or explanations. But in general, this is what the Gurukul meant. And the system was so very well laid down, and the acharya or the Brahman means very simple and satisfied with whatever little they get as Guru Dakshina. Not that they would charge fees for somebody to attend Gurukul. There was no such thing as fees. And they would just work selflessly, teach all these children selflessly. So it was a wonderful system. Somehow it got lost. And if we can somehow revive that, it will be great service to the society. So anyway, we'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata.
Prabhuji, if we have any problems, we go to Krishna and discuss, and we do prayer. And what do atheists do? Where do they go if they have any problem? Atheists, who don't believe in God, if they have any problem, they feel down or low. Where do they go?
They go to their friends. The atheists are completely different kind of people. They just go to their friends, or they take help of liquor and this and that.
Okay.
Okay, so we can stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhuji.